We just rewatched the Lego Batman movie, and honestly, we need to talk about this. There's something going on here that we completely missed the first time around. Everyone wrote this off as just another kid's movie, but the more we dug into it, the more we realized how wrong that assumption was. So what is it about this plastic brick film that actually makes it work? Find out today as we watch another movie at Grandma's house. Hello, please come in. There's some fresh cookies in the cookie jar. There's a pitcher of Kool-Aid on the counter. Have a seat and make yourself comfortable. I'm your host, Isaac. I'm Batman. And who's considering with me Lego Batman movie?
This is Seth.
Okay, Robin. Together, we're going to punch these guys so hard, words describing the impact are going to spontaneously materialize into thin air.
And it's great to see you all dropping by at Grandma's. It's great to see you, Seth. How you doing?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm a Batman fan, so I got excited that we were going to consider this one. It's kind of going out of order because it's technically kind of like a sequel to the Lego movie, but it's, in my opinion, its own thing, and we'll get into it, I'm sure. But I'm just really excited to get into this one. I think we're going to have a good time. But before we jump into it, from here on out, we want to give you the proper spoiler warning. So from here on out, consider yourself warned. So it is the Lego Batman movie. This was released back on February 10th, 2017. It had a budget of $80 million. The box office, $312 million. Looking around at some reviews, IMDB is 7.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes is at 89%. Letterboxd, 3.9 out of 5. Currently, as of this recording, you can watch it for free on HBO Max, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and Sling TV. It stars Will Arnett, Zach Galifianakis, Rosario Dawson, and Michael Cera. It is courtesy of Warner Brothers and Lego Systems. And last but not least, we have to get to Granny's family-friendly rating. So Seth, what is that rating?
Granny's family-friendly rating for the Lego Batman movie is B for suggestive themes and violence.
That's it. And we want to hear from you guys, so feel free to comment your rating, your review of this movie. We'd love to hear it, so comment below now and also hit that subscribe while you're at it. We appreciate each one of our subscribers. So let's get to it. I'm very interested. Again, this came back in 2017, but what are some of your first memories with this film?
So I saw this one in theaters, which was quite an experience. I really enjoyed going to the big screen for this one.
That's awesome. I didn't get to see it on the big screen, but my wife did. She actually went with her siblings. They had kind of a family, the reunion. They hadn't seen each other in a while, and they were like, this would be a fun movie to go see. And I was like, you know what? You go have some fun. So I didn't see this on the big screen. I did see it later, and I remember thinking, this is a fun movie for the family. It's just Legos. I mean, you're going to be kind of appealing to children, but I remember having a good time with it when I first watched it. I want to say it was a few months after it was released in theaters. But with that said, again, I'm going back about 8 years ago, so interested to hear what were your expectation on going back on the rewatch?
So really just enjoy the ride because it's got tons of action and laughs.
All right. I was just hoping, hey, I hope it's still as good as I remember. Like I said, I was like, it was a fun time, and I wanted to watch it now with more of my children. They're older, but just kind of have that revisit, see what they think of it. They like Batman and superheroes in general. So I'm like, it's got to be a fun time. I'm just going to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Literally, as you would say. Well, before we get to a plot rewind, let's pause just a moment to hear from our sponsors. Hey, love movies as much as we do? Then bring the experience of the theater to your walls with movieposters.com. Whether you're into the classics, the blockbusters, or indie gems, they have something for every single film fanatic. As a listener of our podcast, you can save up to 15% on your order right now. Just use code Grandma's House at checkout. Head to movieposters.com and let's build your ultimate collection today. Okay, so let's pull up HBO Max. Let's select Batman Lego Movie and press play.
Batman learns what it is to be Gotham City's sole protector. When his frenemy, the Joker, is told he'll never be Batman's greatest enemy, the clown prince of crime will do whatever it takes to prove to the Dark Knight that he is the greatest enemy the Caped Crusader has ever known. When Bruce Wayne adopts Dick Grayson, he soon learns what it is to be the father figure, not only for the Gotham, but also those who look up to him, the Bat family, when Robin and Batgirl join the fray against Batman's many enemies.
Okay, so this is a different take on the Batman story. I think we can agree there's been so many retellings of Batman's different versions, going all the way back to your Adam West, the campy version, to your darker versions that are more modern. The impression I have is it's just a movie. It feels like we're just going to have a good time. This is Legos, and everybody seems to enjoy Batman, so we're just going to take the two and kind of mold them together, connect them together as you would literally, and go from there. That's what kind of jumps out to me, is that's the tone that they set right out the gate. But I'm interested to hear, what's kind of your first impressions as you're watching this movie?
So really, it was, the movie led off with funny first, which I enjoyed. Like, just that intro is pretty good. I mean, that really settles you into the movie. I don't know how to describe it.
Yes, the intro is really funny. Like, what specifically jumped out about the intro to you?
Just the way they tell the story. I mean, it's like, I guess it's the directing style. It's very interesting, and I loved it. I ate it up. I ate up that intro.
Yeah, it kind of tells you this is what the movie is going to be. It's just very fast paced, and we'll probably get into it a little bit more. But it's a good and a bad thing of, like, it moves really fast. It's like boom, 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 and if you blink, you're gonna miss it. But that's kind of the fun of it. It's telling you this is what you're in for right off the bat with Joker, and just, everybody is kind of familiar with Joker, but this is the more toned down and the kids version with the Legos. He's just more of the silly clown, and he's just causing a ruckus, and that's what you would expect out of a movie like this. But he's really funny. I always pronounce his name wrong. Hopefully I said it right at the beginning, but Zach Galifianakis, he does the voice. I think he does a pretty good job. He captures it. It's a different version than we're used to, but I think that's the tone that this movie's going for. So I thought he did a great job with it. I know we're kind of jumping into the characters a little bit. I just wanted to bring that out because that's the first thing you see is Joker. With the plot, it's more about, Joker is trying to be his arch nemesis, but Batman doesn't view him that way. And Batman is more of a funny, he takes himself very seriously, but it's in a funny way. It's not like really stern and serious. It's I'm serious, but in a silly way. And that just grabs my attention too. Like, I'm with you on that. It kind of drew me into, like, okay, this is, again, a different version of Batman. It's the same Batman, but they just have a nice spin on it. I guess that's the best way to put it. But that premise, again, there's so many Batman stories, but overall with the plot, what'd you think about that direction that they decided to go when it came to this movie?
So I thought, for a family-friendly movie, that the plot was a little heavy, with a big, deep undertones, but they covered that up with many jokes, so many jokes, and it worked. However it worked. So, I didn't expect it to be like, it was kind of serious, and then they kind of like left the seriousness behind a little bit. If that makes sense. I guess if you've seen it, it makes sense.
I get you. I absolutely. Because it talks about, like, adoption. It goes to that Dick Grayson storyline. That's what happens in the Batman stories. He adopts Dick Grayson, but it's more on, like, that connection, actual connection, not just you're adopted and now you're in this family. That's unfortunately kind of how the comics go with, and a lot of the media. But this one's more using that as a plot of Batman's just kind of doing that, like, I've adopted you and I'm moving on, but Grayson kind of wants that connection for funny times or for sad times a little bit, but that's the kind of the plot. It's the driving point. And I really like that. It dives into, as much as this is a Lego movie, it goes deep. Like you're saying, I agree with you. It's kind of deeper tones because it's Bruce Wayne feeling like he has to protect everybody. It is going back to his parents. That's a central thing of Bruce Wayne and Batman, but it does go there a little bit. It does cover it over with the jokes, like you said, though. So I do appreciate that balance. It does a really good job. And then it comes full circle where at the end, Batman and Joker, Batman admits like, yes, you are my arch rival. And they have that kind of clashing buddy version of it. In other mediums, it is much darker of their clashing and so on. But I like that. It was a good rounded plot, and it's just something you can just kick back. You don't have to think too much about it either. It's just it does have layers, but you're not going to get lost with it. So I completely agree with you. But yeah, we have to talk about the characters. I mean, this is Batman. He's famous in the media, but again, this is a different spin on it. So what'd you think of the characters? And I mean, you can start with Batman or whoever.
So I thought the characters were nothing shy of amazing, led by Will Arnett. This group is just great. The individual actors, the voiceover work was really shined in this film, even though it's so, like you said, the pacing is very quick. And it's kind of difficult for that kind of a movie to tell a story, but it does. And that's through the voice acting.
Yeah.
So they did a really good job. I just loved it.
Yeah. I hand it to Will Arnett. I will have a confession. I didn't think I was too crazy about him at first. Like, I didn't think he did bad, but I was just kind of like, he's okay. I've learned to appreciate it more and more. Like, he just nails it, especially when you're able, probably, I would go back to how fast this movie is. I think I missed a lot of the jokes. I missed a lot of little things that I picked up more this time around. And that just builds your appreciation. That builds the voice acting. It's a lot of delivery in those jokes. It's not just a one-off line. It's how it's delivered. It's in that moment. So I've come to appreciate it actually more and more just rewatching. It's actually one of those films I would actually suggest, because one knock I have on this movie is that maybe it's a little too fast. Like, it's perfect for kids because kids will be able to process it. But maybe I'm just old. But I was just like, okay, I need a moment to breathe, because I'm like, I can't get all these jokes. I mean, they're funny. They're funny jokes. So it's not knocking it in that way. But man, you're just like, if you're really trying to focus and you're not like alert, it can be overwhelming, I think. Did you feel that way at all?
It is. I think I noticed it most on my first viewing. I really was shocked at how much they got into I think it's like an hour and 40 minutes or something. Something like that. And they really got a lot of story in there. And it's got to be fast paced if you're going to do a big story. And, they did a really good job at like delivering what they need to deliver. And I just was kind of blown away by how they told the story through the characters, and the characters shined, yet there's so much action and comedy. It's a hard thing to do to break through that.
Yeah. They definitely they cram it into this movie. It's not a long movie, but my goodness, I agree with you. Like, that's exactly what happens. Is it is fast paced, but there's a lot there. So I would definitely highly suggest it. It's almost you need multiple viewings to really appreciate it, because I agree. I think that first viewing is probably going to be a little overwhelming. Maybe that's a fair warning. Just know the pacing is going to be up to 11 and it just doesn't stop. It's just bam, boom, boom, boom. There's few moments that kind of slows down, going back to Bruce Wayne, like he's reflecting on his parents and little moments like that. But other than that, I mean, it's just like action, 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 which you would expect from Legos and kids, and just it gives you that sense of like a child is playing with these Legos. And that's what these movies are. I mean, this isn't the only Lego movie out there, and all of them are like that. I really do like that tone it captures. But it's just a fair warning. At the same time, just picture like watching a kid playing with Legos. That's kind of the tone, the pacing it's going with. But yeah, I think, again, Will Arnett does a fantastic job. Rosario Dawson, she does Barbara Gordon. She does a great job with that too. I think she kind of is that like rooted and able to pull everybody back, because Batman's so all over the place. I mean, you wouldn't expect that. Again, he's that serious stern, but he's so silly and off track. You almost see her like grabbing him and pulling him back, almost like with a cane or something. That's her character. I thought she was really great. And Michael Cera did the voice of Robin, Dick Grayson. I thought he matched very well. I think he gets kind of a knock of like he plays the same character, but I almost didn't recognize him at times. Like, he did a really good job on the voice acting. So I got to hand it to him on that. And again, I said Zach Galifianakis, but yeah, any other characters that kind of stuck out to you?
I loved Alfred, which was played, I think, by Ralph Fiennes, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That sounds right.
There's a lot of great other side characters. I think I forget who but Bane was, but that was a really good role.
Yeah.
I'll get into some of it with the fun facts, but yeah, I was blown away with the way they were able to weave in these characters in and out of a quick paced movie, and they did their job. I mean, it was just really well done.
Yes. Is it Ralph Fiennes? Is that how you say his last name?
It's Fiennes.
Fiennes.
Yeah.
Yes, he's been in a bunch. The mayor was Mariah Carey. Did you know that, or is that a fun fact?
No, I didn't know that. That doesn't surprise me. There, this is a big cast. I looked through; it's pretty deep. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like what? And I think Clark Kent, he just makes an appearance in there, and it's I think Channing Tatum. So
okay.
I'll stop there. If there's any more, I might get the fun facts. But yeah, like you said, there's a lot of stars that you wouldn't know it, and that's where I respect voice acting if you don't recognize it right away. I think you can. I'm not saying they're completely different, but if you're just playing your own self, if it works, it works. But I just have more respect for voice acting. Is like you're able to be that character. You're not just I'm going to show up as famous person and be that person. So if that makes sense, I really.
I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Go ahead.
I will say that Zach Galifianakis played Joker very understated.
Yeah.
Like he's normally a very loud and kind of a vibrant character as a person, but he played it very understated. It was very calm, and I thought it was really well done. Just really well done. He didn't sound like himself at all either.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like if you heard it, you could listen for it and be like, okay, maybe I can tell that's him.
Yeah.
But no, he's not his normal self, and that's where that might just be a me thing. I mean, I'm not trying to say you have to be absolutely different, but I just respect voice acting instead of just phoning it in. That's what it might sound like sometimes. I've seen some movies where they get a big name, and unfortunately, it's just like it feels like they're phoned in. Maybe that's a me thing, but it didn't feel like that at all. That's why I think this is really well done. Harvey Dent, a fun callback is Billy D. Williams. Did you catch that?
Yeah. That's awesome. It's totally awesome. To the 89 Batman, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. There's so many fun nods to Batman. That's the other thing. There's so many, like, if you're a Batman fan, if you know a lot of the lore, there's a lot of little details. Again, it's really fast paced and you can miss it, but that's one of them. I mean, he was Harvey Dent in the 89 Batman. He gets to voice Harvey Dent in this one. So I love little nods like that. If you're a Batman fan, you're going to have a great time. That's the best way
I really think you're nailing it right on the head there. It's hard not to love it if you're a Batman fan because they bring out so many little things from the different comics and movies, and it's oh wow, yeah.
You're just gonna enjoy it. It's just like if you enjoy that universe, you enjoy those characters. It's a Lego kids version of it, but there's so many nods to different characters in the comics, and it's, again, blink and you can miss it. And that's where if you watch it several times, you'll kind of enjoy picking up on those extra little things you'll miss the first time going through. There is no shortage of the comedy. There's no shortage of the quotes. I mean, I couldn't keep up with it. I go back to so fast, but I wanted to write down so many quotes. What were some quotes or lines that kind of stuck out to you?
I've got 3 quotes. The first one came from Batgirl and then Batman. So Batgirl says, "Why did you build this thing with only one seat?" And he goes, "Because last I checked, I only have one butt."
Great kid joke. I mean, my kids are giggling at that. Yes.
And then the next one I've got was, "You're the reason why I get up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and pump iron until my chest is positively sick."
And it's his character. It's like Bruce Wayne is known to just be obsessed with working out, but I like that line too.
And the last one I got was, "What am I going to do? Get a bunch of criminals together and fight the criminals? That's just stupid idea."
And that's what I'd like. He just stays in character. You almost feel like Will Arnett just pretended to be Batman all the time, and they just followed him around with a microphone. That was
I have a fun fact that's not in my fun facts.
Okay.
So he he said for him, and he has a gravelly voice, he said that he had a really hard time doing Batman like all day long for days on end.
Oh.
So it was actually very difficult for him to play this character, which I thought was interesting because he is like the consummate voiceover guy. So like that was awesome that he actually like hurt his vocal cords doing this character. So that was pretty cool.
You gotta wonder if that's like just a common thread with anybody who's played Batman, because you do have that more gravel, and you could do it for a little while. But yeah, if you're talking voiceover
all
for a
day
movie,
long,
I don't care who you are, unless you have some special technique. I mean, you're gonna start talking like that normally. But yeah, I had a bunch of quotes like that you mentioned. One I liked was when they're at the party with all the DC characters. That's another fun little scene if you're a DC fan, just seeing all the different heroes there. But he goes into the crystals, and it's a callback to the Superman, Christopher Reeve, and it's his father, Jor-El, and he's like, I gotta find the crystal. He just starts throwing the crystals, and it's like, I am your father. All of my memories are on these, and it just cuts. It's like he just cut off Superman's lifeline to his father with all the memories. Little just jokes like that. It's like that throughout. I mean, I couldn't keep up with them, but they were constant. That's when I was like, I got to get that one written down because I laughed so hard at that one. But yeah, you can have a great time with this one if it's your type of humor. If you're a Batman fan, there's lots to enjoy with this one. So, okay. With it being Batman and Legos, I'm sure you've got some great fun facts. So I'm really interested to hear.
See, you didn't step on my toes, but you started the conversation. All right. So Billy D. Williams voiced the nefarious Two-Face in the movie. Williams portrayed Two-Face good alter ego Harvey Dent in Batman 89. He was very eager to also portray Two-Face, but didn't get a chance due to Joel Schumacher taking over the franchise with Batman Forever in 95 and recasting the role to Tommy Lee Jones. So Billy D. Williams was excited to play this character. So that's awesome.
I love that. Yeah, you could tell that would have been an interesting progression if you're a Batman fan, seeing him as Harvey Dent and then Two-Face. That's a, history there. Bruce Wayne and Harvey Dent are friends. So there's more to that. It's a layered hero villain kind of story. Here he got excited. You could tell he's a fan of that character. It wasn't just like, oh, I got to play this great Batman character. That's awesome. I love when I hear actors say those kind of comments.
So at around 28 minutes at Commissioner Gordon's retirement party, Bruce Wayne picks up a magazine of himself on the front page, but on the back page there is an ad for Barrios automobiles. George Barrios created the Batmobile for the TV show Batman in 1966.
I didn't catch that.
That's a little nod to the original Batmobile.
Awesome. Yes. Again, I didn't catch that one. There's so many little nods like that. I love it, though. Yeah, those are great.
So the next one I've got is at around 43 minutes when Batman arrives at the Fortress of Solitude, which you were talking about, and presses the doorbell. The sound is the theme from the Superman 1978, composed by John Williams. Music from the actual score is also heard when Batman and Robin travel to the fortress. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that, again, just great. You're going to feel like you just kind of dumped into like old Batman, Superman movies or any kind of comic movie. They have so much of that. That's so cool.
And it's a little thing that means so much to the fans. I mean... Yeah, it's really, really awesome. So the last one I've got before the fun fact trivia question is Batman's costume is based on the one worn by Michael Keaton in Batman 1989. I'm sorry. I'm a little excited. I'm all jumbling things up.
Yeah, that's a very just people think of Batman. That's what I'm trying to say. Like when they think of Batman movies, I think Michael Keaton still applies to them. Maybe younger ones go more towards the Christopher Nolan, those, the Dark Knight trilogy, those ones. But I don't know. That's just one that's always going to, in my mind, I think of Batman. I think of that costume. So I appreciated that they gave that kind of the inspiration for this one.
All right. It's time for our fun fact trivia question. Are you ready? It's a little bit longer.
Okay. I got
But
to get
it's
this
true.
one.
It's true or false. So it's
Okay.
not, you don't have to dig into this one. All
Okay.
right. So just hear me out. The street sign in the background of the Wayne family portrait at Wayne Manor reads Crime Alley. In the comics, Crime Alley is the informal name for the area of Gotham with the worst crime and is the area where Bruce Wayne's parents were killed. True or false?
That would be true.
And you're right.
Oh man, people would give me so much if I got that wrong. That would be really bad. Because that's
I knew you were going to get that right. I knew it.
that's a one people might not know, but yeah, I've if you pay attention to other media, wherever Batman is in, that's a big focal point of the story. Again, that's Bruce Wayne and his parents. So yes, I'm back on track. I got the trivia back.
Right.
Batman does help a little bit, but still, regardless, I will take it. All right. Well, before we get to our reviews, we like to look around the net, just kind of see what kind of reviews are out there, what people are thinking, that sort of thing. So, Seth, what kind of reviews are you seeing?
Well, we got another repeat offender. Plankton Rules said, quite enjoyable, whether you are a bat maniac or not. 8 out of 10.
Right? Yeah. I mean, you can enjoy it if you're not a Batman fan. I agree with that. But it's kind of like that love letter to Batman fans if you like that universe, for sure. Yeah.
The next one was Ryan J. Morris says, Lego Batman is as fun, funny, and inventive and touching as you'd want it to be. 9 out of 10.
That's a great way to put it. I don't know what else to say. Like, that's a great way to kind of summarize it. But yeah, they really liked it then, giving it a 9 out of 10. So yeah.
And I've had to put my favorite on here. The Little Songbird says Batman celebrated in Lego. 9 out of 10.
That's it. It's almost like a mark of honor or just something of like you are in Lego form. I mean, Batman is, I would think, if not the most famous or the most popular superhero, it's up there. So it goes without saying, but still, that's a great honor to be in Lego form. So that's a great way to put it. I agree. Yeah. So we got the reviews, but let's get down to ours. So I have to ask you, Seth, like we always do, when it comes to a Lego Batman movie, how are you going to rate it? Are you going to take it home? Are you going to watch it at grandma's? Are you going to hide it in the attic?
I have to take this home. As an overview, I would say it's funny, it's thought-provoking, it's full of action, it's well put together, and enjoyable.
Right. So I had a great time with my kids. We were laughing. We were enjoying a lot of the action. It's like, that's something we didn't really touch on. Like the action is actually really good. As much as this is Legos, I love how instead of like gunshots, they're going pew, 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 and they're shooting. It's just a fun time. I mean, especially with the kids. I mean, there's just a few, like you said, there's kind of the darker tones, but they have the jokes or kind of lets it even itself out, in that way. Now, the thing with this is I would say it's a great movie. I take it home. My rating is actually going to be watch it at grandma's, but it's going to be a respectable higher. The reason is that fast pace. I don't know if I'm always going to be in the mood for that because of how quick it is.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Like one time I did watch this. I've watched this several times and I've had a great time with them. But the one time I was like more on the tired side, I was almost like, whoa, this is a little overload. So I think it's one of those movies. You can probably watch it if you're a Batman movie and you're going to have a good time. But for me, I really like coming back to it every once in a while. Yeah, it's going to be one of those, if it's been a while, I'll probably pick up on more, if that makes sense, because there's so much you can miss of how fast paced it is. It might not bother people. Maybe they don't think of it, but I just noticed it. So for me, it's one of those, a great movie. You're going to have a fun time. But that's the rating I'm going to go with, respectfully. And it's probably going to be like we've talked about. There's different tiers. It's at least middle to top for me. Like if grandma's like, let's get this out, I'll be like, yeah, let's have a fun time. I'd be interested to see what my grandma thought of this one, actually. Just all the jokes and all the action and things like that. Well, there you go, folks. We got another one in the books. We have covered a Batman movie. Who would have thought we would have been here? We were able to cover a Batman movie on the podcast. Well, before we wrap things up, though, let's make sure we tell people where they can find and connect with us. So, Seth, where can people find us?
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and TikTok. Movies at Grandma's House at gmail.com. We have a newsletter, so keep up to date with all things Movies at Grandma's House. We're on Patreon, so check us out, become a member. And go to movieposters.com and type in Grandma's House at checkout for 15% off.
There you go. Yeah, be sure you're on our newsletter because we have our contest for each month. We give away one poster courtesy of movieposters.com. Just being on the newsletter, you're automatically entered in. We also have some freebies such as customizable movie ticket like this. We've covered Despicable Me. We've covered The Big Green. We've covered Toy Story 4. You can customize it to your likings. Well, that's going to do it for now. But don't worry, we will be back to Grandma soon. So in the meantime, remember to be kind and rewind. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye, everybody.